Hello again. This is Jessica Warziniak here with Nails Magazine's Next Top Nail Artist, Week 5, Nailandia. I don't know what Nailandia is. What do I do for Nailandia? What does it mean? How do you spell Nailandia? Oh, I'm gonna sleep it off. Nailandia is made out of 8 nail tips. To keep the corners waterproof, use some liquid and powder on a piece of silicone. Allow it to dry about halfway, and then with a very saturated liquid and powder brush, pick it up and sculpt it onto the corners. What is Nailandia? To me, I think that Nailandia is an opportunity for us as nail professionals to celebrate our industry. And only nail professionals have the privilege to travel to this amazing mystical island. This shellac bottle-shaped island is set in the clouds because being a nail professional is kind of a dream job. Use round-shaped silicone molds to make little lumps for your clouds. This way you won't be sculpting for 400 years and the clouds will come out super cute. Once you're finished attaching all the lumps to your cloud, cover them with liquid and powder so they're nice and smooth. All of the C&D professional product line was used to make Nailandia, and here we're beginning to make the shellac cataracts. If you want to see the full technique of how we got the liquid and powder to be tinted, please check out my TikTok. Being a nail professional is really a great job. We get to meet amazing people, whether it be coworkers, colleagues, or clients. We get to hold people's hands through good times and lift them up during the bad. I know I've learned a lot from being a nail professional over the years and talking to all these different people. I can't imagine any other industry to be in. Plus, we get to play with glitter and crystals. I mean, how fun is that? Speaking of fun, this is going to be a fully functioning upper and lower waterfall system. Try to keep the water in your waterfall looking as realistic as possible. To do so, use very saturated beads of sculpting powder and put it a little bit higher than you'd like it to be and let it drip down. To encourage the water to flow where you want it to go, cut a straw in half long ways and embed it into the liquid and powder. Let's check out these super cute shellac cataracts. Very exciting stuff, guys. Next up, we are making the Plexi Gel Palace because Plexi Gel has become my absolute favorite product to use. So I figured I may as well just make an entire palace out of it because duh. Make the walls and the roof with Builder and Cure. Then go over top of them with Protector because this is a nice thin viscosity, so it'll help keep your walls nice and flat. Piece together the walls and the roof with whichever Plexi Gel product you like, and then file with your Kanga file. Moving on to the Barisa Botanicals. Using different colors of Barisa Builder Gel, make different shaped petals and cure. Top with two-tone powdered pigments. The flowers might not make total sense on top of a cloud island, but I just thought they would be really pretty. And I think that's a really great way to think about our industry too. There's so much flexibility in our industry, and it really is what you decide to make of it. For this next 2D piece, I decided on the last 2 nail tips I was going to use a piece of flat cured shellac top coat to make the nail tips sort of flat. For this next part, we used Vinylux and a dry brushing technique. You just keep a little bit of product on your brush and kind of just willy-nilly go back and forth in a general direction. It doesn't have to be perfect, and the more layers you do, the neater it looks. Now we're going to be using shellac to paint this next part. Put some on your palette and let it sit for a couple of minutes because it's going to start to thicken up just a little bit and the pigmentation is going to be awesome. The pigmentation and viscosity is going to allow you to do a decent amount of work without having to cure in between. As you go, if you make any mistakes, you can use a brush saturated in alcohol just to wipe those guys right off. And when you're painting, use your brush to your advantage. So if you want to have thicker lines, you're going to smush your brush down a little bit. So you're going to use a little bit more pressure and roll it down, and that's going to give you a little bit thicker of a line. When you want the line to be thinner, you're going to let up on the pressure and let the brush just barely press down. So remember, the more pressure you use on your brush, the heavier of a line you're going to get. The less pressure you use with your brush, the lighter of a line you're going to get. Whenever painting words, I personally like to add some highlights to it to give it some dimension, and I do that by imagining that there's a flashlight shining down from one side and lighting up one side of each part of each letter. And so that's how I know where to add the lighter colors. And the last step is to add a couple of coats of C&D Shellac matte top coat to give it a dreamy finish. All right, and Nailandia is complete. There's the shellac cataracts that give way into the liquid and powder lagoon. The plexigel palace sits on top of the marbled Vinylux Valley, and we have the Brisa botanicals surrounding it. And my favorite part, it has a fully functioning waterfall and this little boat that floats around in there. This piece was so much fun to make and even more fun to play with. Thank you C&D and Nails Magazine for giving me this opportunity. Now I'm gonna wake up Jessica right now. Wow, it's a weird dream.